All right. So I just asked the lovely tour guide a question I think is very important. When all of these people walk through these doors, what the most important people in history, or that we claim, that are important in history, of course, I knew it. The Masons are here. The Masons built this place. But the question is, a question I asked, I'm so sorry about the distraction, but the question I asked was, hey, do you know if I told you that the people looking into space, if I told you that the people looking into space were missing the point, they're using implants to stop me from remembering what I asked, but I basically asked that if these people got stronger and improved their life longevity and by advancing weightlifting so that we could survive the journey into space, would you know the answer to my question and that I'm correct? Would you know I was right? And she told me her occupation was to be a tour guide and to keep track of all the data and all the records inside the facility. And I asked her, if you ask one of your friends, any of your friends here, would they have an answer for me? Would anybody you know have an answer? And she was like, I don't know. You have to ask. I'd have to figure that out. But basically, I told her that there's an incredible purpose in humanity's existence to first improve ourselves. So to look within ourselves to find the answer to our struggles on planets we may journey to, or even the journey itself, right? So to get into space, they're telling me that you wasting time, not talking, not moving around. So the journey to arrive to different places in space, to get to different places in space, all of these people just still exist. So this Einstein, if he had discovered the path to immortality, he would know that the greatest secret, the secret isn't the looking out into space. The secret is looking into each person and making each person stronger. If you make each person stronger, make each person denser by controlling the mass they gain and allowing nature to change their mass into something useful, something dense, something stronger, then they would live longer. So if you improve weightlifting to apply greater force in the same area using magnets, you can live longer and you can survive the journey into space. The things you're staring into, the things you're looking at, you can survive the journey through space if you prepare on Earth by applying greater pressure to your body in every area, turning your mass into density, muscle density, bone density, organs improvement, mass improvement, heart improvement, energy improvements. All of these things will be stored like active energy, active power in very small areas within your body. So you won't get smaller, you won't get bigger, you'll just get denser. And your ability to adapt will force your body to find space in the same area for more mass. Or it will change into storage, or like bone density or muscle density, or something valuable. Who knows? It's incredible what nature can discover. We exist. So nature found a way to allow us to become us. So who knows what other paths nature will find to make us survive forever. Well, not forever, but within relativity, a long time. So I got excited. I asked her that question. If we advance weightlifting, what would the people who walk through these doors think about this truth? Or if it was truth, would the people I mentioned care about the truth of my claim? And if it would improve the lives of every single person who walked through these doors. So would Einstein be impressed? Would, I think that's the Hubble, the woman who helped create the Hubble, I think that's her. Would my discovery improve their lives? And if so, then wouldn't that make me a very valuable person? Or wouldn't that make us all very improve our value? Or would it enrich their lives if somebody came here and told everybody what I just said? So there's another room over here. There's one more room. So that's the lady I told. And here is the other room, the mysterious moon. I have to watch this video later. So the problem in space, the main problem, they just told me to remind me of what I told that lady. So the main problem in space is that space has low density. So when you get to Mars or on the moon, we can't adapt. We won't survive because of the adaptations required. Well, we won't survive because of the gravity issue. The gravity problem on Mars and on the moon will make long-term survival in those places risky. Because we have natural human adaptations to the gravity on Earth. And if we lose that gravity, if we go to a weaker place, we will change in time. And over time, we may not have the 100,000 years, the 10,000 years to survive on Mars or the moon, to make those adaptations, to live in those places. So humans might just keep going to Mars and might just keep dying when they arrive after a period of time, maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years, but we're starting to see human illnesses increase, or physiological children born with not growing properly. And over time, we're going to start dying out. So the absence of gravity is going to take life. So some of the things that we cherish on Earth inside of our bodies, we're going to lose. So I asked her the question, I told her, so advancing weightlifting would be a tool to prepare us for space on Earth. Advancing weightlifting and bringing that tool with us wherever we go would make sure that any planet we arrive to we would maintain our existence on those planets. So if you can advance weightlifting and bring the tool with you to the moon, to the Mars, on a spaceship, you can survive a journey through space to the planet you choose to go to. And all it took was someone to figure out a way to improve human beings. And it requires pressure. And the only thing I can think of that can apply pressure to a human body today is weightlifting. And if you had improved weightlifting to stop spreading the force, stop increasing the area and thus decreasing the pressure of added weight, you would make the weightlifter stronger. You would turn his mass into density. So I'm going to ask that lady, and then this temple area. So this temple area has Mason ideology all over it. So all over this area is Mason ideology. So she didn't mention it. She mentioned the art, the religion, but none of the science. She didn't mention the physics of this room. So the sun is fusion. It's freedom. She said that this represents the sun, and the yellow is like the energy of the sun, and that's important. That's nice. That's science. But this area right here represents space, freedom. And as you go down, these pillars represent gravity. So all of this freedom is supported by strength, by gravity. And as you can see Mason symbols right here, and the reverse Nazi symbol. It may have been adopted by, I don't know. I think I don't know what's going on about that. So I'm going to not speculate about that. What I'm going to speculate is about the physics, the science of this room. I think this room is meant for to give you a feeling of space and a feeling of support. Oh, so I'm sorry. So gravity provides you with support and shelter. These pillars represent gravity, and in this room, you're supposed to be supported and sheltered. Oh, I'm sorry. They just told me my own words. So my own words were that I discovered that when you walk inside a chapel or church, they try to hide science in plain view. So smart people walk inside the church and they know exactly where they are. They're inside a representation of the universe. And the church tries to hide intelligence, energy. So for some reason, religious people don't want people to be smart because now they can't control them. And if they can't control them, they can't make them do what they say. So there's some people who use religion to control masses and to hide intelligence. But they feel guilty. They feel guilt lying to people. So, fooling people. So they actually tell the truth in plain view, but in scripture and in view, like this, and they don't feel like they committed a sin, right? So the other thing I found was that, so you're standing in a representation of the universe. So technically, everything that's up is a sign of freedom. Everything that goes down is a sign of strength. And in between is shelter and support. Or if you look the other way, that's support, and this is shelter. But anyways, I think this place was really cool. It was really worth coming here. I see that the Masons are the only ones who, so far, are displaying secrets of the universe and all over the country. So I discovered energy inside my body and how to control it in my apartment. So I figured out I discovered energy weightlifting. I had a lot of mass in a small area. And thanks to my genetics, I could feel the energy inside my body. I could literally feel it all over. And somebody told me a long time ago that that's just like chemicals in your body from from taking creatine. But I don't think so. Or you get the jitters. It's called the jitters. I think it's called energy. Energy, lots of energy in a small area that's well compressed. You start to feel it. So compression gives you feelings. Anywhere in the world, if you compress something, you have you get a greater feeling for it. So I have very dense muscles, and I had a lot of energy. I had 20 pounds more of energy, and that gave me a greater feeling. So anyways, I learned fusion in my apartment. I learned gravity controls energy in my apartment. I eventually learned about fusion. Then I started finding concepts of finding the universe, discovering the universe. Gravity's all over space, energy's all through space. So then I started exploring space. And then, what did I do? I started going places where history was. And wherever I went where there was history, I started seeing Mason symbols. And the places I went that had history related to fusion, related to energy and gravity. And wherever I went with those two things in there, I started seeing Mason symbols. So the only people recording history the only places that have history have places where people just learn physics or learn something that improves mankind. And that's this place. So this is one of those places. So like I said, this place. Hello. Hi. Hello. How are you? Good. Representatives of gravity. Women. Oh, I also told the intern that women represent gravity, the force of nature that supports and shelters our entire existence is every single woman on Earth. So physics developed the sexes. Physics developed our nature, our gravity, our space, our universe. Sets the laws of reality, determines reality. So I learned these things in my home, and And while talking to people, well, to myself, while people with implants overheard me, distracted me, harassed me, and told me, maybe, no, they told me nothing. And literally told me nothing. So everything I know is speculative. But some of it's concrete, like weightlifting. Weightlifting, if you stop spreading the weight out and increase the force in the same area, you will cause humans to adapt to adapt differently. So instead of getting bigger, they have to get denser to support greater force in the same area. I know that. That's a concrete. And then I also started seeing people try to put physics into the universe, into space. Well, in important places they wanted to maintain. Well, they wanted to have gravity. So when you come here, you get the impression that this place is important because there's so much gravity, so much heavy materials that you feel like you're somewhere important. So I think this room is the space designed to represent the universe. So this space is a space within the universe. Well, it's an architect's attempt to replicate the universe. So looking up is important, but looking down is just as important. So this looks like a cross, but if you turn it, you get the gravity. You get gravity and energy, or energy and gravity. It depends on how you look at it, but it's an art piece. And someone's.
All right, y'all. We're closing down the shop for the week.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna go say hi to her, say goodbye to her really quick.
Earlier, pointed to the Star David and the Star.
Yes.
Do you know the other symbol?
So that's the lady. I'm gonna say goodbye to her before I go.
The one in the dead middle is the goddess of fertility. You see the breasts and the pregnant belly and the wings, sort of. The ones on the
I just want to say thank you. And I kind of mentioned you a few times in the video I made about not bad, really good things. I just said that I asked the question about if we would improve, if anybody here would be impressed by the comment that I gave you about advancing weightlifting and whether or not that is true, and if like those changes would make a difference in the lives of the people who walk through the door. And I just told people that was it. And I was like, I think it's incredibly important. I personally do. I think if anybody manages to do it, every single person who walks through these doors would be appreciated. Well, it would change them for the best because there's so much intelligence, so many people who cared about space, about the universe, about improving mankind. And if one of them was a weightlifter, then maybe one of them would have discovered how to improve mankind first so that they can have more time on Earth. That's what I put in the video. And I mentioned that Jana was the lady I asked. So, I don't know. I guess the purpose, well, the point of me telling you that is to affirm that you're aware. Oh, to make you know, let you know that I did that. I mentioned you, and I wanted to be thankful that you took the time to listen to me.
Sure.
That was another thing that was important. I think your time, everyone's time is so valuable, and I want to make it last longer. I see so many people I think should be preserved, and I know if you improve weightlifting, you can preserve history, people, not just what they did, but the people themselves. You can preserve them for longer, as long as they're willing to get stronger, suffer gravity's pains, they can continue to exist. And I think a lot of them, maybe Einstein knew it and he kept it a secret, or maybe he had no idea. And this man, so brilliant, had no idea to look beneath the surface of people. So I want you to ask people. I want you to enrich their lives, and just with a question, a curious question. Hey, what do you think about this? And see how well they're improved by it. Or if they agree, or if it changes their lives for the better, lives for the better, for the best. Yes. So I want to say thank you for your time.
Sure.
And I want to say thank you for any efforts you make to ask that question in the future.
All right.
And you too, if you know anybody, she could probably tell you to please ask them. And I love history, and I love hearing about other people's discoveries. So anybody who can, any way I can give energy back to them, so it gives something back to the people who also found something valuable, is important to me. And I think it might be possible if I keep telling people and they do the same, or ask questions, or I don't know. I guess, a long story short, I appreciate your time, and your time means a lot to me.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for visiting.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Come back for a concert or a speaker series.
Okay. All right.
Observing night.
All right. I heard great things. She told me you guys had events here with recently, or out in the field. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Observatory. All right. So I tried to speak, could not speak. But yeah, this is it. This was a Yorkshire Observatory. Space, freedom, and strength. So this is strength, and gravity. So any people who walk through these doors give energy to gravity, to strength, to make this place stronger, and that's important to people. So anybody who comes to the Yerkes Observatory is giving energy to them, and that's really important because this is gravity, and gravity requires energy. She requires it like it's her only. Gravity requires energy. Well, people are going to come here. They just told me they're desperate for cats. I don't think so. I think people are going to continue to come here forever. Why? Because oh yeah. So there's symbols for fusion too up there. So that alcove and the stars, I think there are a couple of stars up there. So the alcove, every mason has alcoves, and it's like a sundial. So like if you look at like those, the alcoves, I think those mean like energy. Well, the sun, they represent the sun. So like the rise of the sun, or the sun coming above the horizon, and the first thing you see is light coming out from all angles, and I think that's like a fusion. Like the horizon is the bottom, and as the sun rises up, you see symbols for fusion. That's what I think. I think that's a symbol for fusion, or the sun. The sun is a fusion reactor.
That's so cool.
So I think that's what they cared about the most. Energy, finding energy so that you can improve society. And that's that. But yeah, the gargoyle is nice. I think that's somebody's imagination, or like a scare tactic to make people scared as well. So we're not just smart, but we're scary people too. So I don't like the scary aspects of society. But anyways, like I was saying, thank you. Yeah. So the sun, that's my opinion. I see that. Oh, the little circle. Well, this one doesn't have the little circle at the center. This one, it's got something else, like a shell. Someone's telling me it's like a shell, or it's a cover to hide. So people like to hide their intelligence too. So I guess it's open to interpretation, or is open to reality. The reality is these people are hiding their intelligence everywhere. And so when I walked in, the woman gave the tour guide, and it was mostly about religion, architecture, and art. There was very little mention of science, besides the center, the roof being a dome built for the sun, or to represent sunlight. She didn't mention anything else. But anyways, the sun, the solar, this building has gravity. It's supposed to represent, bring people in, attract people, and get energy from them. Right? what we consider as energy is money, to keep the heat on. Oh, so it's exciting. It's exciting. There's a lot of history here. And somebody wanted to add to it. I brought history here. I found the only way to survive through space. And so technically, I'm supposed to be incredibly. I'm supposed to be part of the history of this, of life, like any of the other famous people that walk through these doors. Technically, I walk through history, but I'm not a Mason, so I'm not a Freemason, so I can't actually be a part of history like Einstein or anybody else who made an important discovery. I guess Freemasons determine who has gravity, who is a part of history, or who will be remembered. So I guess if I don't have sex with gay people, which is what the Freemasons, if you want to be a Freemason, you have to be a part of the gay community. And so since I'm not a part of the gay community, I can't be a Freemason, and therefore I can't be a part of history. So that's who I am, and that's where I am. And that's it. It's because I'm not gay. And then someone just said in my ears, it's because you're black. And black people can't be that intelligent, can't be that smart. But that's not the reality. The reality is I'm not gay. And because I'm not gay, I can't be a part of history. So no matter how smart I become, if I'm not gay, gay people have a hatred. They feel like they're superior to everybody, and they have throughout history. And because they found the best way to give energy to other people. They just told me we know the best way of life, the best things between life, because we share our bodies with each other. And because we share our body, yes, because they just asked me if I would have sex with the woman I recorded. And normally, if I was her age and I had lots of energy, nobody's hesitating to have sex. So gay people are controlling commerce, controlling the flow, controlling energy. So the gay community believes in life, controlling life. So if they can control life, they control people. Well, money. If they can control the flow of money, they control the people in society. So normally teenagers and 20-year-olds, they have a supply of energy. And that supply of energy gives them confidence. And that confidence enables them to have sex, to think about having sex with more people. Different people, different varieties of people. So you're not just interested in a single person. You're interested in not a single person, but a single type of person. You'd be more inclined to be interested in other people, not because the money makes you valuable, but because what you did with the money improves your life. So I would have used every dollar I had to improve my life. And if I improved my life, it wouldn't really matter who I had sex with. So I'm not talking about cars, clothes, shoes, money, toys, or the things you see outside your body. I'm talking about the things that are inside my body. If I could keep getting stronger, improving my biology, then there is absolutely nobody on earth I couldn't feel safe having sex with, because I did my job and my improvements will be passed to my children. And I firmly believe that in life you can make improvements that would change your life and the lives, biologically, the life of the child that is born by any woman you chose to have sex with. So they just asked me if I was willing to have sex with that woman or women like her. And if you're not, then you can't be, you aren't valuable, or they just told me if you're not willing to have sex with a girl like that, you're gay, or you have no value in society. If you are so picky about women, you have no value to our society. But that's not reality, man. Reality is you finding someone similar to you to reproduce with. That's reality. You want someone who's going on the same journey or will support and shelter you on your journey, and you want someone who will join you, who actually struggle with you on your journey to improve your life. That's what you want. You want a woman who will make the same life choices as you. So I choose to get stronger. I choose to stay alive. I want to live. I don't want to die, and I know I learned how to not die. So any woman I choose to live my life with, you would want them to make the same choices. So you would want women to get stronger too. You would want women to improve as well. So my perspective isn't a perspective of being picky. It's being smart. The smart thing to do would be to ask any woman you're with to join you on your journey. So that's my perspective. So no, if she chooses to not get stronger, then I can't have sex with her, or I don't want to spend my life with her. Anyways, this is good. This is a good place to come if you're into observatories. And it's not, they just told me I'm selfish. I really want to be, I'm actually interested in advancing weightlifting. But if I did advance weightlifting and everybody else did too, so let's say Einstein would still be here. And people who care about Einstein would meet him and his intelligence. So that's reality. That's reality. People would be able to ask Einstein today questions. If Einstein had chosen to get stronger all the time, it is a fact of life. If you advance weightlifting, you will continue to slow down the aging process. And Einstein would still be here. So I'm not selfish. I'm not trying to get famous. And in fact, I'm not going to get rich or famous. There are going to be so many people who are better at entertaining the public with advanced weightlifting than me. So I would be a footnote, the guy at the bottom of the page who discovered the path forward. And I couldn't even get rich. I don't know how to engineer magnets to advance weightlifting. So in reality, there is no bonus. There is nothing for me. I don't get anything. So all I get is the footnote in history that I discovered the path to improve weightlifting. I didn't actually improve weightlifting because I don't know how to engineer a way to do it. So technically, this isn't about me. This is about somebody else and everybody else who suddenly has more life to, so I'm not being selfish. I'm not thinking about myself. There is no way in the world I am inconsiderate of others, or I'm being selfish, or I think I'm better than anybody, because in reality, what's going to happen is no one's going to remember the footnote. No one's going to remember who improved weightlifting. They're going to remember that we can live longer. And they're going to remember everybody who manages to show the best life with the best way, who can entertain people. Those are the people who are going to be remembered. So I'd be a footnote in history just like Einstein eventually, or unless people keep talking about me, unless people keep mentioning who did this, which I think over time, in reality, it'll be forgotten. Or like Einstein, we don't think about Einstein every day unless we're thinking about physics, science, history, or something that brings us to Einstein. But most of the time, we appreciate Einstein's intelligence without knowing it. So there's something he did, or something, his general relativity ideologies that are guiding physicists today are in leading us towards improvements. We only think about the improvements. We don't think about the person who began the journey, who started us on this journey. So I'm not selfish. I don't think about myself. I think about improving people's lives. So, I can live. And if I wanted to meet someone intelligent, I wouldn't have to rush, or I have a long time to do it. Because an intelligent person, because hopefully they decided to get stronger. And that means I have more time to discover or ask questions or learn about history, because the person who was a part of history is still here. So I brought that energy here because I wanted to share it, and I wanted to experience for a moment what it was like to be in the same area that somebody else who cared about life as much as I do that same area with them, to share energy with that person. So that's what I came here for, and I'm happy I came here. I have to slow down time because I have to learn everything these people know, so that I can give more energy to them, share more experiences with them. So someone has to advance weightlifting, and then we have to slow down our time so we can share more experiences with each other. All right, so there we go.